Unlock the door.
I love that. That's like WWF. I mean, I was wanting to see who wins that
Right?
fight. Wow, we would have never believed it. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google. Go out there and listen to us. So we're excited about it. We're glad you're excited about it too.
Welcome to Relevant Rants. I'm here with Tom
Hey.
finally today. He decided to show up.
Why do you have to mention that for?
Yeah, you know,
Do I call you out when you're late?
You do every single time.
I think I don't.
But so we're starting with the football player this week from the 49ers, who is strong believer. Love that part.
Man, you know, I've never been a super 49er fan, even though I live in California.
I was Joe Montana fan.
Were you? I wasn't, because I've always been a Green Bay fan, and they usually end up in the NFC playoff or someplace like that.
Okay.
But this guy, I mean, how do you come from third string to replace Jimmy G and then become he hasn't lost a game yet, has he? I don't think he's lost a game yet. I could be wrong. You guys will correct me if I am. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, in the comments.
But the cool thing is he's doing a sensational job.
He is, but you know what? I love the fact that he's like, I'm good at playing football. And we've had a string of these, right? Derek Carr.
Yep.
We had Tim Tebow was like maybe kind of the original, but now we got this guy, and he's like, no, I'm going to glorify God.
And a devout Christian, and I think that's going to make me. And I told my wife that, and my son-in-law Danny, who we had on the lunch break filming this week. We had Derek Carr's workout partner on too.
We did.
Yeah. So if you want to catch those series.
Best friend and workout partner.
Best friend and workout partner. So, hey, we'll be dropping those. We got 3 of those.
In the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah. So, but here's a guy who is unprobable and doing a great job playing at the highest level, and he could be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
First rookie quarterback, and he's saying my faith is first. So good job. You know, I mean, I love his name, and
I wonder how much heat he's taking and how much heat the team is taking for his stance on faith.
Well,
right?
We know
what was it they said recently? Like, we don't want to hear about your faith.
Yep. And when they had the Tim Tebow rule, and then they had the Reggie White rule, and so they pull the microphone away. But I don't think you can pull it away if he's a winning quarterback and he's a rookie doing a great job.
But it's interesting because you watch like the whole thing and like just society, culture, sports, everything. It's like the sides are separating so much, right? Because you have people praying on the NFL Network, open public air.
Which Hamill's doing. He's
doing great.
Doing great.
Glad to see that. You have this guy that's like, I'm a devout Christian. I'm going to glorify God in everything I do. And then we have the satanic tribute to Ruth Bater Ginsburg in New York City.
New York City always comes through for us, don't they?
They do. And so we used to have, and we were talking with a friend of ours last night about how, we used to have Christians intentionally have Christians on the school board and in the courthouse and all these places. And now, instead of that, we're going the complete opposite way and glorifying Satan.
I know. And there again, I mean, I think Ruth Bader, she did some good stuff, and I don't want to take that away from her, but I don't know if she would sit there and go, yay, that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the good things were. I do know she was a big proponent of abortion.
No, I'm just saying, people. Well, Mike, you know where I stand. I do think
I do.
I have faith in humankind. I really do.
Yeah,
and I think that's why Jesus died for
all people.
All people, and I think that people do things in their life that should be way to go.
So now we have this big story from Project Veritas, James O'Keefe. They did a kind of a sting operation with this guy, and it's all over the place with COVID. And this guy who worked for Pfizer was talking, almost bragging, like arrogantly, like, yeah, and this is not something like from like 2020. This is current. We're testing. We're doing gain of function research. Pfizer's doing gain of function research allegedly. Right. Let me clear that up, because now the guy came back. The guy came back and said, "Oh, well, I was just lying to show off for a date." Well, I think there's more to the story, but he's was bragging about how they're doing gain of function research essentially for the COVID stuff. So yeah, you can play the video, Alex.
Is this seat taken? You work for Pfizer. My question for you is, why does Pfizer want to hide from the public the fact that they're mutating the COVID viruses?
Is this real life? I'm literally a liar. I was trying to impress a person on a date by lying. This is absurd.
Please don't touch me. Well, this is not. By the way, don't tell anybody.
Someone who's just working in a company to literally help the public. You up. You really really did. Please bring the cops as soon as possible. I'm really very unsafe.
Can you please unlock your door?
No, don't let them leave.
Please unlock the door.
Give me, what is going
give
on
us our
here?
stuff.
Oh,
Please unlock the door. Please unlock the door. Unlock the door. We're trying to get unlock the door. Unlock the door.
I love that. That's like WWF. I mean, I was wanting to see who wins that
Right?
fight.
No, it's pretty wild. But you know what? So California's trying to stay with the lockdown, stay with the COVID stuff. And there was I don't know if you saw this, but there was a judge that blocked Gavin's push for that.
Well, you know, I don't think they've ever tried to hide things in plain sight if you listen closely.
Yeah. So it was regarding the misinformation, alleged misinformation, where he was like, hey, anybody, like, we're going to sanction these doctors and do all these things. A judge blocked that and said, you're not allowed to do that.
Well, you know, I do like it when common sense comes into play, and it doesn't come into play a lot. I had a conversation the other day with somebody, and we were talking about, pro-choice, and I said, why don't you just say it's pro-abortion?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
honestly, I'm just like, hey, let's be open and honest and talk about where we're going with this. And I just wish people would be more honest and truthful. Bible says truth will set you free. I'm not afraid of the truth.
Yeah.
I can stand where I stand, and I can look at people, and I do love people, Mike. You know, I'm always the bubble in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. On this
you
show,
are.
I'm the bubble in the middle. So
You are.
I am. So, but I do have faith in people, and this guy obviously got caught.
Yeah.
But he's willing to go to the extra degree and declares that he's a victim, where obviously they have something, because he wouldn't be that passionate about getting rid of it. I've always told people, if you're innocent, stand.
Oh, he's going to lose his job and all sorts of
stand
other
on the
stuff, but-
highest rooftop and scream, "I'm innocent."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a huge deal.
A lot of things are, and
So McCarthy is working on. I don't know if you saw this one too. This related to the COVID thing. He's working on getting the votes together to get rid of the Biden keeps wanting to continue the COVID thing. McCarthy's working on getting rid of that.
I just talked to Kevin's field representative Perry just the other day, and I asked Perry what was Kevin doing when they were doing all the votes. What did you concede? And Perry said, we didn't really concede anything. It was all, we just had to point it out what people were doing. I love what Kevin's doing. I mean, he's holding people accountable, and that's what he said he would do. So, okay, I can take heat for that one too. He's a great friend of mine. I love the man. I love what he's doing.
I don't know if you saw this one, Tom, but Google is YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. Google owns YouTube. They're putting restrictions on any Second Amendment stuff now. So, like, all these guys that have had videos, teaching about guns and doing all this stuff, they're banning all of that. So all of these channels that people are, like, a lot of people are probably using to either support their business, or the channel itself is their business and they're making their livelihood off of it. They're getting wiped from YouTube entirely.
But, do people really think that that's going to stop them?
No, but I think that this is a big enough deal.
Oh, it's a big,
that
huge
it's going to
deal.
push more people over to Rumble.
It is.
Right? Or other platforms,
There
because
are
people are still
options.
going to talk about this. People still want the information,
Hey,
but just you're going to have to go to other sources to get it.
Our friends on the Daily Wire,
Yeah.
They've always said, hey, these things happen, so you have to have a plan B to do it. And I don't think somebody should be afraid of it. My friend Craig Powers.
Yeah.
I mean, his
You just talked to him recently.
Yeah, well, I just finished my CCW class.
Yeah.
Hey, I carry a CCW. I mean, there's reasons I do that, and I just had to take my class, and most of it's online.
Yeah.
And so it's one thing that they can ban it off YouTube, but you're going to still get the information out. And I think if people think they're going to do that and be successful, that's what I love about when Joe Rogan, they came out against some things he said. People stood together. I think people just stand together on this, and I think people are starting to hear that our voice is a little louder.
Yeah.
When we're standing together, and that's why we do this, Mike. And how many times have we been worried we're banned? We get shadow banned all the time.
No, we do.
Hey, if you're watching us, thank you for watching us.
Did you see the Facebook video I put out the other day? Like, I asked my wife, I was like, I'm surprised because a lot of my posts get a lot lot more views and likes and all this stuff. She's like, yeah, you talked about God too much.
I can tell you when my TikToks are going to get blocked. Yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I get to minister 1,000 people. So I mean, it's like, hey,
yeah. Well,
take me off.
But guess what? They do it to Biden too. for positive things, right? So well for him, for his benefit, because you know this thing with the documents that they had
found in the garage, probably under the Corvette manual.
Well, this is a bigger deal, Tom.
Oh, it's a huge deal.
So what they're starting to uncover, and they're going to have a hard time protecting him, but they will because of power and everything else, right? But they found these documents in his garage, and they're linking it to the Hunter Biden laptop.
Oh, they are.
And going back decades of what is this allegedly, essentially espionage.
But Mike, Mike, I've always said it, and I'm going to just say, Trump? Why would you take him home? Pence, why would you take him home?
I have to believe that there's a reason, and it wasn't something that
I'm not saying there's not a
I don't know
reason. I'm
with
just asking
Biden
why.
with this stuff that they're uncovering that's additional beyond just we found some documents. Okay, first of all, you found documents. It was illegal for him to have them. It wasn't illegal for Trump to have them.
There's only one document in my garage, Mike, that I'm really interested in, and a document that I received when the company I worked for and $250 million went missing, and I was the vice president of the IT department, and I got cleared. That letter, my wife one time.
You hung on to that one.
Well, no, my wife put it on the curb, and I go, "What's it doing on?" There was a box. She goes, "Well, we're getting rid of it." I go, "Oh no,
I
want
not that one.
letter." That's why I hung around for 4 more years to clear my name.
Yeah.
I did.
And they're
the company was Sunworld, still around today. I was one of the executives hung around to clear my name, and I got cleared. I got vindicated.
But now they come out with we found some documents at Pence's house too. And Trump says, leave Pence alone. He's the most honest person I've ever met in my life. And you guys are just trying to smear dirt because of what's going on with Joe and Hunter.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what's the sleight of hand tricks? When I show you this, I'm really doing something over here.
Yeah. Well, and Ludavia talks about that all the time, right?
Yeah. Every time I see a card trick, I'm like, oh, I want to see that again in slow motion.
Yeah.
I love card tricks.
Well, they want to distract you. Hey, look over here. Pay attention to this.
Sleight of hand.
Cover up the laptop, the documents, all that stuff, because it's a much bigger deal than what they're letting on to. And if you listen to certain sources, you will be able to find out this information. Other sources are kind of bury it as much as possible.
Everybody's got an agenda, and the narrative is deep. So hey,
But going back to
do your research. If you're out there watching, just do your research.
But going back
Hey,
to
but you might have to go to DuckDuckGo. I'm good. I'm not all the time. I'm just going to say it. I Google and I don't get all the information. So I go to DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, I was sitting in the car with you. You were like, go check out DuckDuckGo. I was like, oh, it's the first thing that popped up.
Trust me on this one. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
But going back to the statue with in New York, Ruth Bater Ginsburg's tribute statue, it's what they're promoting in society is just frankly demonic stuff.
Mike, we got a satanic club up at the Tehachapi School, elementary school. It was funny.
Can I ask you what your wife said about it, or is that public information?
Well, my wife, if she was sitting here, when she was asked what it would be like if they wanted to do a satanic club in her school, she said, "Heck no." She's a superintendent, public school district. She goes, "Heck no."
Yeah. Well, she said I wouldn't let it go that far.
Yeah, she goes. I would talk. I
never let it get to that point where it's even at that level.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, there's certain things that when we want to present to our kids, and that may not be one. And if you're going to be one, you're going to do something for one, you got to do it for all. She says, well, we'd have to rethink what we're doing then. This one really bothers my wife, and Tiffany would come on and talk about it. But it's a superintendent that lost his job.
Yeah.
Because I think it was the first grader that shot the teacher.
Okay.
But as it's shown in the articles, that 3 teachers went and complained that child had a gun.
Okay.
And they just kind of blew it off. It was in Virginia. School board votes to replace the superintendent after a 6-year-old shoots a teacher. They said that they knew it was there, but the superintendent
because
and
they want to bury the information
was just like, hey, we'll just kind of ride this out.
Huh.
And it didn't work.
Wow.
But I mean, there again, you've got to have the right people in place. The Virginia School Board replaced this person, but I think if the people in the right positions would have done something about that day, it would have been better for them all.
Yeah.
Teacher possibly could not have been shot.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, and it doesn't matter what you are. 6th graders shouldn't have a gun in school.
No.
Especially when the administration knows about it.
Well, should they have a gun at all, ever?
No.
They're 6th grade.
I'm just saying.
Maybe under supervision of a parent.
Well, then again, why aren't the parents held accountable in this one?
Absolutely.
Mike, you and I are law-abiding gun owners, and mine are safe at home.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, the kids don't have access.
Yeah,
to
I don't have kids at my house, but they're safe at home. So
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that stuff.
So
Keep people safe, especially
which
teachers in
is
school.
interesting. We talk about this, but so with the YouTube ban on the Second Amendment stuff, like they're also limiting how much safety information and stuff is going to be allowed to the public.
Well, my friend Craig Powers,
I think there's a lot of negative stuff there.
My friend Craig Powers, that owns Powers Firearms and Training, has good stuff out there. People need to listen to it.
Yeah.
Every person that goes through his courses with CCWs should.
Yeah. So,
Give Craig a shout out.
But
you should advertise.
Hey, Craig. But again, we want to make sure and underscore it's not all bad news.
No.
Things are happening. Good things are happening. Again,
I
prayer in
love
the
this
NFL. We have the quarterbacks that are promoting God.
Even Jalen Hurts, strong believer. You know, Philadelphia Eagles. They'll be playing 49ers. So
people are pushing back, and they're not going to be silenced. No. But we have this other story from this high school football coach. And Tom, you want to talk about that?
I love that because, Mike, I coached football in high school.
You did.
Yeah,
you were my coach.
I was your coach, and I love what he did because he canceled practice, and he said, "We're going to shovel some snow for the elderly."
That was cool.
What a great opportunity. There again, Mike. I mean, how much practice do you need? I mean, you need physical exercise. I mean, we always say
But how much of because sports, especially in high school, like I don't care if you think, oh, well, my child's going to be a superstar, they're going to play in the NFL,
it's
whatever.
a very small percentage.
Very small percentage. But really what high school sports is about, Tom, and you can correct me if you disagree, but I don't think you will. It's about building character in young kids, right?
Training young people to grow up in this world and make an impact.
Right. I think that is going to make a bigger impact in their lives than
that will
another
never
day
leave
of
those
football
kids.
practice.
That will never leave those kids.
Exactly.
Ever. And it's just something that one of the players, and they didn't play when you remember when we were told that we violated some recruiting rules. Remember when I had to miss playoffs that one year?
I remember there was all the time that was
Yeah,
an
I
issue,
know.
but they were
I
always trying to push back on that. Yeah.
Hey,
I think every school deals with that.
And they do, and I had to deal with it. And the crazy thing was, the next year we ended up in the state playoffs again. But I had the kids wear the numbers of the kids that missed the playoffs the year before. And I just had them put on their shoulder pads. I had a kid come up to me the other day.
I'm not sure what year that was. I know one of the years when I played, we were in the playoffs.
Yeah. And so we just put the numbers on the shoulder pads to carry those kids in there. And one of the kids that missed it came back to me the other day and goes, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was just a tribute to something. And I think this right here is going to stick with these kids.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're watching this, I want to encourage you guys, go out and do something. You can make a difference, even if it's in a small way, to bring positivity into the world and make an impact and push back against the dark forces that are out there.
Hey, that's why I want to give a shout out for Darren Carr over at Bakersfield Christian High School. He's training up good young men.
He is.
My son-in-law was one of them, and David Carr.
Nathaniel's one of them.
Yes, Nathaniel's one of them, and Derek Carr, David Carr, and Darren Carr.
Yeah.
Doing a great job at Bakersfield Christian.
Yeah.
Keep it up, guys.
So
you're training good men. You're also having a winning football program.
That's right. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.